Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot of Tisha Beav that comes out on Motzei Shabbat. Maram brings down in Siman Tav Kuftum Bet Sif Yod Im Chal Tisha Beav be'echad b'Shabbat or shechal b'Shabbat v'nidcheh le'achar Shabbat. Whether Tisha Beav falls out on Sunday or it falls out on Shabbat and it pushes off to Sunday, which is like this year. Ochel basar v'shoteh yain b'Seudat Shelishit. He's allowed to eat meat and drink wine in Seudat Shelishit. And he's allowed to have like a mamash Seudat Shlomo Melech. However, though, says the Rama, he has to actually stop mibod yom. What does that mean? That means he has to actually stop beforehand. And if he didn't also say Birkat Hamazon beforehand until it's nighttime, right, he still does not say Nachem in Birkat Hamazon because there's no mentioning of Tisha Beav in Birkat Hamazon, and therefore he's not going to mention it. However, though, he has to stop before Shekiyah, which means that this coming Motzei Shabbat, what happens is everyone goes home for Seudat Shelishit. You eat with their families. And then when you're eating with your families, you could have whatever type of a meal that you want. You could have meat, you could have wine, you could have whatever you want. It's Shabbat. However, though, you have to stop before Shekiyah. So you stop eating before Shekiyah. Now, this is all to do with the Seudat Shelishit, or what we call the Seudat Mavseket. So this year it's not really a true Seudat. It is Seudat Mavseket. You're stopping eating. But it's not like the Seudat Mavseket like every year. You're eating on the floor, you're eating a bread and an egg or lentils. No. Here you're having mamash, a full Seudah with whatever that you want. But now what happens now after that on the night of Tisha Beav? So we know on the night of Tisha Beav you're not allowed to prepare from Shabbat to Chol. So therefore, right now you cannot actually, whether it's going to be start taking off your shoes, changing your clothing, doing all these things. So what we do is that we wait until Motzei Shabbat. Once it's Motzei Shabbat, we say Baruch HaMavdi ben Kodesh Lechol. And once you say Baruch HaMavdi ben Kodesh Lechol, now you come and you could change your shoes, you could drive to the Bet Knesset, and you come for Arvit. And that's why we're doing Arvit basically by the time of Rabbeinu Tam, or we're calling it 5 minutes before, so when they come by the time it's Rabbeinu Tam, in order that everyone already finished, you already come to the Bet Knesset, that you're already with the change clothing, with everything, that you're already ready for the Motzei Tisha Beav. And that's why even in the Bet Knesset, we're not supposed to set up or start moving, whether it's the chairs or doing all these things, until Motzei Shabbat. Very, very important just to remember. Now, on the night of Tisha Beav, which means on Motzei Shabbat, which is actually the 10th of Av, but this is going to be Tisha Beav for us. So here it says, Leil Tisha Beav shechal be'echad b'Shabbat, keshero'eh haner omer, boreh meoreh ha'esh. When a person comes and he sees the light, the candle, he's going to say boreh meoreh ha'esh, and he does not make a beracha on the Besamim. Uvleil Motzei Tisha Beav, so then on this Sunday night, he's going to be mavdila lekos. So therefore, since it's Sunday night, you don't make a beracha on the fire, because you already did it Motzei Shabbat, and you also don't do it on the Besamim. Besamim is only done Motzei Shabbat. Here, you're not doing it on Motzei Shabbat, so therefore you don't do it at all. So that is going to be the halachot like this. Even a woman, right, should also do Boreh me'oreh ha'esh, because she's also obligated in the Havdalah. And now, whenever a person is going to eat, so then they would have to do Havdalah beforehand, which means whether it's going to be a woman that she's not fasting, whether it is because she's pregnant, she's after birth, whether she's feeding, or any other sick person, or a child. In all these cases, they should do Havdalah. There is a machloket, what do you do with the Havdalah? Should you have it with, for example, grape juice or other things, or even wine? Rav Ovadia is posek, not like the Kaf HaChaim, he says, they could even have wine or grape juice. The reason why is when they're having the wine for Havdalah, they're not having it in order to enjoy. They're just doing it because they're doing the mitzvah of Havdalah. So therefore, the second, and they could do it Motzei Shabbat immediately, which means, even though it could be that they'll only eat on Sunday, right? And they don't need to eat on Motzei Shabbat. But the fact that right now they're not obligated to fast, so therefore on Motzei Shabbat, they're able to come and they're able to do Havdalah immediately. That's what they do. They do Havdalah immediately. And then everyone else, whenever they want, whether it's the children or it's going to be these people that they're not going to be fasting, they would be able to come and they would be able to eat. So it's very important to have this in mind that again, this coming Shabbat Bezrat Hashem, you go home, and that's why you have to do an early mincha, whether there's going to be a 2 o'clock, and then another one a little bit later on, probably at 5:30ish, and then what happens is you have your Seudah right? The regular Seudah, which you have to stop eating before Shekiyah, but you don't do anything afterwards. And you're not supposed to prepare for the Chol. So therefore you wait until Motzei Shabbat. Once it's Motzei Shabbat, you say Baruch Hamadim Kodesh L'Chol, you change your shoes, the clothing, whatever that you wanted to change, and then you come to the Bet Knesset, right, for the prayers on the Tisha Beav in itself, which is going to be the Arvit. Okay, then after that, right, remember that you do Borei Me'oresh. Our minhag is we do the Borei Me'oresh right after, right before during the Kinot. Right, we have the beracha over there. Some people do it before Megillat Echa. Some people do it where we do it, which is written in the Kinot books. And then what happens is that the women will do it at home, right, on their own. Now, if it is that they're going to be eating, so therefore anyway they'll be doing the full Havdalah anyway. But for us, right, we're not going to do it. We're just doing Borei Me'oresh, and then on Motzei Tisha Be'av, that's when we do the Havdalah, which is a gefen and a mavdim and kodesh l'chol.